Moon? Yes, sir. All right, guys, welcome to camp. I'd like to first start off by thanking ONU and the city of Bourbonnais just for their hospitality. We feel very fortunate to be starting training camp early because of the Hall of Fame game. We've already got some good work in with a portion of our roster. We've had a strong off season, and now we're excited to carry that momentum into this training camp, and we're ready to go.
I want to follow up with Ryan here and thank everybody here in Bourbonnais, ONU, for supporting us and having us here. It's a good opportunity for us as a team to grow together. It's exciting as a organization, as players, coaches, to be together for the first time. It's a unique time for us because we're finally together for a lot of moments where we can learn together. We're off campus. We're here. There's a lot of bonding that goes on. To me, I look at it almost like a piece of clay for our team, and not our offense, not our defense, not our special teams, but the team in general. And we get to kind of create our own identity and how we want to start this thing. There's going to be a lot of highs and lows throughout the year, throughout training camp. Some adversity. How do we handle that? So we'll do everything we can to have fun with that. I think the neatest part of going off campus and being here, for instance, at Bourbonnais, is the camaraderie that you build together as a team. You have a trust. You build trust in one another, not only on the field but off the field, and then you build friendships too. So these guys are a lot of them have been together here for several months in the off season, and now here we are in apartments, hanging out and all day from early morning till late at night, getting to learn each other, see how we play football, and then how we act as people. So I want to also just kind of commend our players, our coaches, our staff, personnel staff, everyone back at Halas Hall, the organization, for the support that they've given us from day one. And then a big thanks to all the supportive, passionate Chicago Bear fans that are out there. You know, this is a fun time for us, and we continue to look forward to that support. The last thing I want to bring up before we get to questions is just, I think it was brought up this morning, is the coaches that are here through the Bill Walsh Minority Internship. We have 6 coaches that are here, and it's something that Coach Reed actually brought me into this profession through that. And I had an opportunity in 2008. This is 11 years now later, and here I am. And so I had an opportunity as a young guy coming into this thing through that program. And so we have six coaches that are in college, and some are in high school, that are here to kind of learn the ropes, how we do things. It's a great opportunity for them. So it'll be fun to see them out there. If you see where they're at working with the players, they're doing a great job so far. So I just wanted to say thank you to them as well. So with that, we'll open with questions.
Ryan, what's the status of Roquan Smith?
Yeah, you know, you guys know there's a lot of details that go into those things. You know, we're optimistic he's here soon. It's really part of the process, Rich. Meanwhile, we're rolling forward with the guys that are here, and you know that chemistry and continuity is important. So
you guys obviously are starting early, but is there a time where you really feel like it is, you know, needs to be here by?
no, there's not a set time. We know it's a process. Yeah.
Are you surprised it's gotten to this?
No, Brad, I'm not surprised.
You're approaching like Eddie Goldman, Adrian Amos, any other players you're hoping to get done with extensions?
Yeah, Moon, obviously we're mindful of the guys in the final year of their contract. We got a handful of them. You know, obviously those contracts we're going to keep internal. A lot of those are really good players, and we're mindful of it as we go forward, and we'll have a plan in place.
Ryan, you've watched this thing start to be built throughout the spring. What has struck you about Matt's offensive system and his offensive vision?
I guess the first word that comes to mind is creative. You know, it's creative. Utilizing all the weapons. You can feel it keeping people off balance, you know, and you can tell the players are having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, where is Mitchell Trubisky right now in the development and progress of the offense? And what do you hope to see from him the first couple of weeks it's been tested against?
Well, with the last 3 days with those guys being out here and getting some reps in there, looked sharp. You know, did some good things, and you can just see what a big step from the end of OTAs till out here with some of the rookies, just playing fast. You know, not thinking. Calling plays now is easy. That'll get a little more challenging as we go in camp. But he's making throws now, and he's taking it. We were level 101 early on, Okay, we're slowly getting to 202 with him, and that's just going to continue to grow.
Yeah, how do you expect camp to be different for you now as a head coach as opposed to all the other years?
I think the biggest thing going into this is just keeping a pulse on the players in regards to, you know, their health with their legs, their bodies. We're going to have a physical camp. There's going to be some live action that goes on. The guys know that. We told them that going into the off season here, or in the off season headed into the summertime, that it's going to be physical, and we need to callous our team a little bit. So for me, as a head coach, what I need to do is not just focus in on the offense and where they're at, but I got to have a pulse on offense, defense, and special teams. And do guys need a water break at a certain time? How's the health status of a certain player? I'll talk that through with Andre Tucker, our trainer. And so the good thing of kind of this rookie camp is for everybody, you get a little taste of that, and you kind of see how the process goes, and it fine tunes you up for the rest of the camp.
Matt, do you have kind of some markers that will signify what is a successful camp, like some of your goals for this first camp for you?
I don't necessarily have any markers. I think the biggest thing that every coach in the NFL will tell you, every person in the NFL, you want to come out healthy. That's a big one there. So you have to know where you're at with that, and there's some luck involved in that. There's some unfortunate injuries, and then there's some ones that happen for certain reasons. So health is the biggest concern for us, but as far as markers, not necessarily.
Speaking of health, do you anticipate any players opening camp on PUP?
No, we should be good to go. There shouldn't be anybody on PUP, and that's a good thing for us. We're going through the physicals right now, but as of right now, we feel really good where we're at.
Are some of the guys that you guys are just kind of holding back a little bit during the OTAs, like Allen Robinson and Kyle Long, and will those guys be full force?
Yeah, they'll be going full steam ahead. They'll be ready to go, and you go back to OTAs. The reason we did that was so that they're ready to go now, and so we that's where we're at now. Now it's go time.
Matt, for you, why has the relationship with Mitch clicked to this point? What do you like about his personality that makes it mesh with you?
He's very driven, very focused, and that's kind of generic terms, but the kid genuinely cares about the game of football and his position. He wants to be the greatest teammate on this team, and he knows if he does that, he'll make guys around him better. And so out here in rookie camp, he's taken a leadership role. He's just continuing to have arrow up in that world. And so we got to just keep it going, and now we get the vets back in here, and that thing just keeps going. But he's just so focused on this. I don't want to say perfectionism, because sometimes that can be a little paralysis by analysis, but he cares a lot about this game, and we're very fortunate to have him.
Ryan, what are your expectations at this point for Kevin White?
I'm sorry?
How do you balance keeping the team healthy but also wanting to have a physical camp? Because obviously injuries are an issue for this group the last few years.
Yeah. Well, some of that, in the periods that you go ahead and have the live periods, you got to know really situationally, you got to have a plan for when you're going to do that. And we'll get together as a staff, and we have an idea of when that's going to be. And then the rest of that is every team out there is always they're going to bang, and they're going to have live periods, and you just go with it. You know, it's the guys understand that, and then there's bumps and bruises. We have a great training staff that gets the guys back on track, and so you roll, and then you know, you also, if there's certain players that you want to be calculated with and understand how you're going to do it, there's a method to the madness, and again, I know it's my first year going through it, and I'll learn with some things, but for the most part, I feel like we have a solid plan.
Ryan, what are your expectations at this point for Kevin White?
Yeah, you know, Hub, he's had a good offseason, and just like our team, you know, he needs to carry that momentum into this camp. You know, he's playing with a lot of confidence right now. He's very focused right now. But really, expectations, just be the best he can be. You know, focus on himself, which is what he's been doing.
How different is it? So, I mean, basically he hasn't played for 3 years. He's the 7th overall pick in the draft. It's got to be a little different from what you were hoping for 3 years ago, or maybe not.
I just think we just focus on this year, and again, focused on this offseason, in this offense with these coaches and what he's doing right now. And I just feel like there's a lot of momentum right now with his play.
Ryan, it's part of the process to deal with the first-round draft pick and contracts, but what's the level of disappointment that Roquan isn't here from day one, getting acclimated as quickly as he
Yeah, David, I mean, ideally, yeah, we'd want him here. And, Matt touched on the continuity we're building right now and getting away for camp and the benefits of that. But I think we also understand, this happens. This isn't necessarily abnormal around the league. It's happening. It is sometimes part of the process. We're very optimistic that he'll be here very soon. But it is kind of what it is right now.
Ryan, what were your impressions of him through the spring?
Everything we thought, Rich. I mean, he's, obviously he's an extremely talented player, but all the intangibles that he brings to the table are also off the charts. So when we talk about identifying that guy that could potentially be that bell cow on defense, he has those type of traits.
Ryan, how do you guys haven't had the most physical camps here since you showed up. How do you feel about him with more live and what that's going to do for the team and maybe evaluation?
Yeah, we're a young team, Brad, with a new offensive system going in. And I do agree with the philosophy that sometimes you have to build callus. You have to build that up. So it will be a physical camp, and we welcome that, and so we'll look forward to seeing that out there.
Matt, what are you most curious to see in Allen Robinson as you get him full steam for the first time?
Well, again, just seeing him out here early on here the last couple of days is just his mental ability to get by, the trust factor of running certain routes. And I think, when you have that type of injury, a lot of it does come down to the mentality of, are you okay? Are you 100%? So we'll know that right away when he gets out here. You throw the pads on, he's playing. He's done everything he could possibly do to this point to get to where he's at. He's rehabbed really hard to get to this point, and now he's here. And so mentally he's in a good spot. Physically he's in a good spot. We just got to put it together now. And the other thing with that is he needs to start building that relationship with Mitch, right? That's a big part too.
What does he need to be for you in this offense to really be that guy that is a go-to guy for you?
Well, for us, I think going into this is he's somebody that can play, multiple positions. He's not a one position guy. He can do a lot of things really well. When we went in through this free agency process, we talked about how he's a big physical receiver. He's a red zone threat. He's good versus press. He has experience. So we know he has all that. I think right now the biggest thing that we'd like to do coming out of this camp is having him and Mitchell just create that timing and that connection between the two, because that's going to be important.
Matt, what did you do personally with your short summer to just kind of get ready for your first season?
Went back to Kansas City, got some family time with my boys. I watched a few baseball tournaments, which was good to do, and just get away for a little bit. Took a small trip away on vacation with the family, came back here, had a few days in my house, and now we're here. Here we are. So it went quick, but it was good and had a good time, and it's exciting to be back here.
Matt, you mentioned Kevin White and with Allen being able to play multiple positions. The sense is that they play the same position. How will you work them together, and are there scenarios where they're both on the field together?
Oh, absolutely.
On one
No. The one thing you'll see here in this offense, Moon, is that we have guys all over the place in different spots, and so Ryan did a great job of looking at these certain free agents that we went after, some of these draft picks that we went after, and getting guys that are football smart. They have a high football IQ, and they're able to play multiple positions. When you can do that, that helps you out as a offensive play caller to be able to move guys around. Is it going to happen overnight to every single receiver that comes into this offense? No, but we do a pretty good job, I feel like, at balancing of where they're at position-wise, what they can and can't handle, and then we try to fit them into the process.
Ryan, what position, if any, are cloudy for you as you enter here? What position groups in particular are you interested in seeing how it sorts out?
Yeah, Rich, I mean, that's the beauty of camp, right, is a competition, and the more we improve our roster, the better the competition. So cloudy might not be a right word, but it's more just the excitement of seeing these battles play out. And there's certain ones that are a little bit more competitive than others, and that's going to be fun to see. But I mean, again, this is just the start. We got 5 preseason games, which is huge from an evaluation standpoint.
What positions? Do you feel like they're a spotlight for you then?
I mean, just to touch on it, I mean, tight ends would be one for sure. That there's just a lot of talent at that position.
Ryan, you said optimistic. We didn't try to talk about it. What makes you feel that way? Is it because these impasses are common, or is it because it's something that the negotiation makes you think not well?
I think these are rather common and somewhat predictable, and again, we got great relationships with their agents. We've worked with him on a number of deals, and it's just working through this process.
Do you sense that he wants to be here by Friday?
I'm sure he's dying to be here, knowing him as a player and him as a football player.
Yeah, we're about a dozen questions in. I don't think anybody's asked you about the defense yet. How are you now balancing your focus on both sides of the ball? How will you approach that?
Yeah, it's getting a little easier for me. Things are slowing down a little bit as far as the on the offensive side, which allows me to go over and watch the defensive drills or slip into a meeting here or there. And this is a great time right now in training camp to get more of that done and to have more discussions one-on-one with Vic and just to talk through, because one of the benefits of that is me being able to be helped out from him on stuff that he sees, and then I can help him out with things that I see with the defense. And we just communicate, you collaborate, and this is an ongoing process. It'll continue to be this way, and I'll step in when I can, and then at nighttime when we have our staff meetings, when that's over, we get back together and talk. And so I think the biggest thing is open communication, and then me as well finding time, which is a must, and I've been doing it already, is to watch the defensive side of the ball, to watch the special teams on video. You know, for my whole career, it's only been offense. So now I get to flip on the tape and start evaluating and watching the defense.
Is there anything specific about the defense at this point that's on the top of your to-do list? I'm sure you got offensive focuses. What about?
No, maybe as we get going, I can answer that question down the road here, but right now, nothing that stands out.
Ryan, you mentioned the tight end position.
There's been so much emphasis on the quarterback position, Mitch. Is there ever a time when you say, step back and say, whoa, this kid's 23 years old, or is this too much? Are we putting too much on him?
No, there's not, because it's such a valuable part of the puzzle. But that's our job as coaches to kind of corral that and make sure that we take care of him in certain ways. So we're teachers on that field. We're not yellers and screamers. That's not how we teach that position. We coach them, and then we try to teach them on the whys. And so I don't like the word expectations. That gets used a lot with players, with teams, etc. For him, we just want him to control what he can control, listen to what we're teaching him, and then go out there and play. And so this is something that the first time we get out there and play a real game, in Lambeau, and we play that first regular season game, there's going to be hiccups. He's going to learn from that. And then we just continue to grow as the games go by. But Mitch can handle all of it. He's a very mature kid for that age, and we understand that. And he does not want us to pull back on him because of that. He wants us to load him up, see what he can handle, and that's what we've done.
Ryan, are you comfortable with the depth you have at rusher right now, or is that an area you might still look for?
Adam, we did a couple things in the offseason to address that. Obviously, getting Leonard back healthy is important, and signing Aaron Lynch and re-signing Acho, and then addressing it in the draft. So we like the guys that are there. I think if you ask any NFL team, they're always going to want more pass rush. Some of that can be generated from our defensive line as well. So to say we're comfortable there, I think we're always trying to improve, especially in pass rush.
Ryan, with Adam Shaheen and what you saw last year, what are kind of the expectations for where he can grow in his game in training camp this year?
I think as we've seen the OTAs unfold and him in this new offense, I feel like you can never have enough good tight ends. And we've talked about the U tight end and the Y tight end and the importance of those positions to our offense. And I think we got a lot of different pieces there. They all have different strengths, size, blocking, route running, special teams. They all fit together really well. It's a really competitive group. But with Shaheen, just his size, his route running for a guy that's that big, his catching radius, his ability to go up and get the ball in tight coverage, those are all attractive traits. And again, he's still a young player from a relatively small school that we still feel has upside and is still growing.
Matt, you mentioned the play calls eventually getting more challenging for Mitch. How do you sort of map that out or balance it out, like when to ramp it up, and knowing it's sort of a long process for everybody to kind of get this offense down through camp?
Yeah, well, it's all about confidence early on. So get them some confidence, and then start feeding these guys more complex plays, more complex thoughts and ideas. See how they digest it, and then pull back. It's very similar to OTAs. This is kind of our laboratory right now, where we're able to put plays out there, see how they work, what we like, what we don't like. We communicate it behind closed doors as we watch tape. And so it's something that's worked for us and something I've been a part of as far as how you go about the amount of plays that you install. And then the other thing too that we all believe in here as a staff is situational football. We need to be situationally smart in all three phases. And so we're gonna harp on that. Every one of our guys on this team are gonna understand that they need to be smart football players. And we're gonna use examples throughout the league where things have gone down and where you could either, hey, this is a really good job or this was a poor job. How do we, and the whys, how do we get better at that? So it's kind of something for us where we just balance it out.
Right, so that third year, what kind of expectations, or rather, Ezra, sorry, what kind of expectations do you have for Leonard? Like that injury, big piece of the defense going into kind of like a big season himself.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, one of the traits we look for in players is, durability and availability. And, Leonard's a very talented player with a lot of natural pass rush ability, but in order for him to reach that production, he needs to be on the field. So I know he's worked a lot on his body, he's worked a lot on his techniques, and so we just feel if he can stay healthy, the production's going to be there.
Matt, it's your first training camp. Unfortunate to be having, an extra week. How do you hope that this extended time benefits this team?
Well, really for us as players and as a staff, this is kind of the big picture of it. That extra game just gives you one more game of going through the game procedures. So when you're out there, you go to the hotel the night before. You get up in the morning and you get to get on the buses and get to the game. You have the pregame warm-up. You get to see kind of how it goes. For us as coaches, how does the sideline go? How does the guys up in the box, where are they at? How's the communication process? So you get one extra game to kind of tune you up for the regular season, and so we look at it as it's a positive thing for us. And again, for the players, they have that extra week here. So we as coaches need to balance that out with their health and understand practice-wise where they're at, and then just give them the greatest chance possible to get reps. These young guys. It's going to be good for them too, right? For the rookies and for some of the backups, they're going to have probably more reps because of it, which is something that's good for them, and it helps us evaluate.
What's more valuable, the extra week of practice or an extra game where maybe it's more young guys on the field than anything else?
In regards to just having the 5th week of preseason versus...
Yeah, to get you ready for the Packers, what helps more, an extra game or the week of practice?
Probably both. I don't think there's a right answer to that. I don't know. Maybe I can tell you next year. I don't know right now. So we'll see. I would guess both. I don't have a right answer for that.
Matt, your defensive philosophy, we cover this in general, but do you prefer a blitzing defense? Do you want a bend but don't break? Other than just getting the ball in good field positions, your own philosophy of defense?
Well, I think it's important, number one, that you just keep points off the board. That's the biggest thing. So I don't care if you whatever you do, if you blitz a lot or if you bend but don't break, and you just eliminate those. I think touchdowns is obviously huge. If you can hold teams to field goals, you have a good chance of winning the game. But that's to each their own. Vic has his own philosophy. It's worked. He's done a great job with that over the years. The history shows that. So I'm in favor of whatever Vic wants to do. I like that.
Ryan, to what extent are you keeping your fingers crossed that you stay healthy through camp into the season, or do you know, is there some kind of certainty or just feeling that with the changes you've made, you're going to be able to avoid the issues you've had in the past?
I think as time has gone on, we've added depth to our roster. We also gotten younger as a team. And I think, yeah, you're right. We've made some tweaks to different areas of our organization. There's tweaks to our schedules. But we also understand that, this is a physical game, and some of that's inevitable, and some of that's going to happen. And so we need to have depth at certain positions to protect ourselves from that. And we can't come into this concerned about that all the time. Like as Matt said, we have to have a physical camp, and we have to build callus because it's going to be a physical, grueling season. It's just part of our game.
Matt, having the quarterbacks report early, what was the plan for them with this game leading into today?
Well, what it does is it kind of gives them a little tune-up. All of us go away for 5 weeks, and now you come back and this is a new schedule for some of these guys. So they're able to get in here and understand that we have an earlier practice. So do you eat breakfast in the morning? Do you not? Well, yeah, you need to eat the little things. You got to eat breakfast. So it gets their arms going. They get greased up for 3 days of throwing, so now they feel pretty good. It gets them back into the mode of calling plays. This is from the quarterback's perspective in the huddle. And just understanding from early in the morning till late at night, what's the daily routine look like? How do they take care of themselves? So for those guys to be able to come in here, we've always done it that way. It's always we've found it to be a benefit, and from what we've heard feedback-wise, they really like it.
Ryan, take 2 more here, guys.
Have you looked back at all on your rookie year as a GM and tried to counsel Matt at all on any particular speed bumps or potholes to avoid, or are you a throw him in the deep end of the pool?
No, we you know, obviously you learn from your experiences, and I think we're always learning. And I think, you know, Matt and I talk all the time throughout the summer of, hey, these are potential obstacles that we could hit, or potential, you know, speed bumps along the way. And I think if we talk about them beforehand, maybe we can prevent them, or maybe when they do happen, you know, we know what to expect. So I think that's just part of the process, and you know, I still feel I'm pretty young at this, but I think that communication is important.
Ryan, if you had to describe, use 1 or 2 words to describe all that's happened since the first day of the offseason after last year ended until now, everything has changed and stuff. So how would you describe that process?
I guess I'd say it's been aggressive. It's been there's been a lot of work that's been done. It feels like it's gone by fast, you know, because of that. But it's very exciting and energizing. And what's neat about it, David, is how quickly this continuity has come together. There's a lot of new pieces, right? There's a lot of new pieces with our support staff, with our coaches, with our players, and it's really neat to see how fast that's come together, even before we've started training camp.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you.